Good evening. Welcome to Waking God's Child YouTube channel with my co-host Candy Nilsson, and tonight we will be talking about the Morgellons Deception, which there appears to be a lot of that involved with Morgellons. Hi, Candy. How are you tonight?
Good. I'm
Good.
good.
First, I want to apologize for being late. I was still driving home from Austin. It's been a crazy, hectic week, so that's why everyone, if you're wondering why you haven't heard from us in a while and me for a while, it's my fault. It's me. So, and
Well,
another
not only
thing.
that, I just got out of Facebook jail this morning and hardly posted anything and got back in it tonight. 3 days.
My
My
gosh.
God, you again?
I'm telling you, I'm just glad you're out because that's happened to me multiple times and for really
I'm
silly
out. I'm
things,
back
right?
in. I'm back in it again.
Yeah, tell the story. Do tell the story.
I'm
That's
telling
good.
you,
Oh,
I'm just glad you're
jeez.
out because
That's me repeating so I can read the comments. Let me turn that down. Okay. Yeah, tell everyone what happened. And this is going to be on Facebook. So this is strictly for entertainment purposes only, y'all, with a wink and a hallelujah. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was in a private group the other day in my arts and crafts group, and this lady came out, was like being an a-hole, and I told her about it.
What's that
And
stand for?
so at the end of the live video, it was like all of a sudden I got kicked off. And I figured it was something I was posting about Morgellons. But it come to find out it was because I called her out on the bullcrap she was doing. I don't do that very often, but I did it. Anyway, so not only did I get Facebook jailed, but the group that I was in also got Facebook jailed. So, which this has happened to me because I admin several groups. If somebody posts what they call against community standards or um, fake news or whatever, it's like in
Big
the
book.
group, okay, it reflects back on the admin too. So when somebody else posts bad information or supposedly bad information or gets fact checked or whatever, it's like the admin gets a spanking too. So, I get spanked for other people's crimes all the
You
time.
got spankings.
So
Yeah.
this lady in this arts and crafts group that I was in, her whole group got shut down. So she private messaged me. She's like, "Okay, what did you say in the group that caused my page to get shut down?" I'm like,
Didn't
I
say
thought it was my
anything.
Morgellons stuff. I had no idea it was like because I called this lady out on the bullcrap she was doing. Called her a butt wipe basically with the A word.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So
Yeah, it's wrong though. That's wrong.
I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And this lady makes her living off of this group, and it's like I got her whole group shut down for like 3 days because of calling
Well,
somebody out on their bullcrap.
I mean, you know that you got to call people out on the bull crap because other words were just muck up and poo. And I mean, it's true. We got to set the record straight, and sometimes it takes that, unfortunately.
Well, and like when they first came out with that movie from the New Morgellons Order nonprofit, Skin Deep, they first started like doing the GoFundMe's for that. I was like, I went to my doctor. I was like, okay, look, dude, I got to tell you what's coming. This is coming. They're making this movie, and it is full of bullcrap. Okay, so I'm just letting you know ahead of time before you see it. This is what's coming. This is what they're saying, and this is not true. This is not true. This is not true.
Good for
So I
you.
told him ahead of time. And so when the movie finally came out, it was free on Netflix for a while. I was like, okay, remember that movie I was telling you about? It's free on Netflix right now. You can go watch it.
I still haven't seen it, and I mean, purposely, I have not seen that movie. Everything I heard irritated me, so
Well,
I'm
and the
glad
next
I
time I went
haven't.
back to him, he's like, oh, by the way, I watched that movie.
By the way,
And well,
so
and it's like I said, it's like, okay, wait a minute. I don't care about anybody else's truth. I mean, my truth matters. And I know that that's my doctor. He supports me. He never discredits me or makes me feel inadequate or delusional or whatever the hell. So I knew that the only thing that mattered, no other doctor's opinion matters except for his. So I was like, dude, we got to talk about this before it happens because I just want you to be prepared. And it just really worked out for my benefit to just, confront it head on before it even happened.
Yeah.
And so,
That's just in her nature. But I mean, good for you. I mean, we need more of you for
uh,
sure. I'm not kidding. Like, I mean, you've told the story before of us going in when you came to visit, and we went into Sprouts. Remember? And I was
sprouts.
just telling Candy earlier, I forgot my peppermint oil. Like, she's got me pretty much hooked on it. She's not lying. It works great. And I obviously have been working and living out of a hotel in Austin right now with my job. And I didn't bring it this last time for whatever reason. So I went by a Sprouts in Austin, which is like Tree Hugger Land World. Nothing against that because I am pretty much one of those now. And I want to hug the trees. So it's not a bad thing. No taking offense there. So I go into the Sprouts where we got our last peppermint oil together that June of 2020. Was it 2020? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I'm all excited because Candy and I made leeway in the Sprouts in Houston. I mean, the guy was like, really? What's that? Oh, and he followed us to the counter wanting to have more information about Morgellons and, all the bad things that you can't say. So long story short, I mean, he just chased us to the counters wanting information, like where could he find out more about this disease or whatever you want to call it. I mean, obviously we're calling it what had to be called. And so I'm like, I'm in Sprouts, and there's a guy about the same age, older, maybe not old, but older, not like 20s. He's probably our age, and he's sitting there stalking, and he's the only guy back there in that area. And I'm like, so hey, hi, do you have any peppermint oil? Just like Candy and I had asked the guy in Sprouts here in Houston, and he's like, yes, we do. And come to find out, it was like that big of a bottle, not the big one like Candy and I got. That's neither here nor there. Where the problem starts with me is that I'm just thinking, man, yeah, we're making leeway, right? And I don't have Candy with me though. She's not holding my hand that day. And I'm like, so yeah, I need that peppermint oil. I use it for Morgellons disease. And I'm like, wait for it. Is he gonna say what's that? Or oh, I've heard about it. Just anything, say something. And he's just like, I'm not there. Just keeps on. He's like, no, that's all we got. I'm like, yeah, because I have Morgellons disease. It's this really straight, like like a sci-fi. It was so horrible. I didn't really go into the spill, but I'm doing anything to get his attention and just freaking ask me what it is, just like the other guy did, and he never did. In fact, he went around the other aisle. I chased his butt around the aisle, and I'm like, so does lavender work with that? I mean, I'm thinking of anything like trigger something with you. No. He was pretty much looking forward to getting off in 10 minutes, and I was not there. And all I was thinking is, if Candy Nelson were here with me right now, you would have listened, sir. You would have listened. So that is a true story. So yeah, that was just, you need Candy Nelson on your side when stuff like that happens. She can talk to people and she can make it. She makes it like, she tells it like it is, and it makes sense, damn it. So thank you, Candy, for doing what you do and making the leeway that you do, especially without me, because I'm making zero zilch nada by myself pretty much.
Road trip.
Road trip. Come on. All you ladies, come on. Let's all go on a road trip. We need like a reunion or not a reunion because we're not reuniting. We need a union. We need a Morgellons union. We need to unite, come together, and
Can you imagine about 20 or 30 of us going into that Sprouts?
Oh my gosh, they would be having our attention. Like we would be having their attention right then and there. And you guys, I'm serious. If we had a group of us come together, I mean, we could march into every store and they wouldn't have any other choice but to listen. I mean, I'll hold them down. You guys can kick them in the gut, and Candy will hold their ears and say, listen, Linda. I mean, it doesn't have to be that rough, but I mean, whatever it takes. It's a little bit. It's not a big deal. So, anyways, Candy, I'm going to leave this to you now because I know that you have a lot. You need to tell everyone what you've been doing and what else been happening for you, because I heard the story earlier and I love it. But I'm gonna have you take this away.
Where do I start? Oh my
It's amazing.
God. I'm so wore out mentally. Oh,
What's that? No, I was just kidding.
yeah. Oh God. Anyway, so I have been like looking for beeswax to make my soaps with for the longest time. And so anyway, I bought it last time. You used to be able to get 40% off coupons at Hobby Lobby, you know. So I would use that 40% off coupon. I would go get my beeswax, you know, and get my 40% off. Well, Hobby Lobby, after COVID, I hate saying that word. I just
I
hate it.
mean, it's the word. It is a word. It's in the dictionary, apparently.
All of a sudden, it's like the price doubled. And then I go to get it, and the quality is like crap. It wasn't even for nothing in this world. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Couldn't even get a dadgum discount on it. So I'm like, I'm really mad. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I winded up buying this crap quality beeswax from the dadgum craft store for $20 and a 1 pound block. So I go to the flea market in Daytona and I see somebody selling honey. Well, I always go there because they have like this essential oil shop there that I love going to. And I asked them, I said, do you guys sell beeswax? They said, well, no, they sell honey right across the aisle there. Maybe they have some. So I walk over there, that place, and I was like, okay, you guys sell honey. Do you sell beeswax? And she's like, well, actually, my husband just made his first block ever. And she said, you know, he's never made it before. And I'm like, okay. So she brings it out, and it's this like candle, big pillar size candle block. And she's like, $12. I'm like, okay, how much does it weigh? So she weighs it. It's like 1 pound. I'm like, okay, well, I just paid 20 for one that's crap. You know, $12. Okay, I'll take it. So I had been posting out like in the local Facebook groups if anybody had any. Well, nobody replied. So I bought the 20-pound block, you know, the crap one. And then I get home, you know, I got the other one for 12 that was good quality. So I get home and I went back out on the Facebook group to see if anybody had replied. Well, nobody replied to my in search of post. And so I'm looking in my local Facebook group, and I don't even know how in the world this even happened. But all of a sudden, this post comes up where this lady had 4.5 pounds of beeswax for $20. 4.5 pounds.
Can't beat that.
And I'm like, okay, this is like 3 or 4 hours south of me. So I'm like, 4.5 pounds. So I messaged her and I said, look, you know, is this filtered? And, you know, if I pay the shipping, will you ship it to me in a flat rate box? You know, if you can get it in a small, that's great. It's $10. You know, if you get it in a medium, that's $15. Okay, I can do that. So anyway, she said, yeah, no problem. Yes, it's filtered. I'm like, okay. So I told her, I was like, yeah, I'll get it. So anyway, it wound up costing me, what did I say? It was $20 for 4.5 pounds.
Yeah.
She got it in a small flat rate shipping box for $10. So I'm like, okay, so now you're talking $30 for 4.5 pounds. I was like, yeah. So, you know, I did the PayPal thing and paid for it. Well, it comes in the mail. Well, it wasn't like in a formed block. It was just like these big, massive chunks. And I was like, well, it don't matter anyway, because I'm going to throw it in another aluminum pan and melt it and, you know, remold it anyway. So no big deal. I was so happy to get that, you know, at that price. And there's a man down the street from me, like a quarter of a mile from my house. He sells honey. And so I have been trying to contact him for years, like probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And I had went on Facebook trying to see if he had a Facebook page. Nope. I looked up his number on the internet. You know, I sent him messages through Facebook, and I'm like, Okay, I'm looking for local beeswax. Well, he never replied, never replied. Tried every way in the world to reach out to this guy. I even went on MapQuest, and tried to find his like address and send him a letter. And I'm like, okay, so last week I'm driving down the road and I got my little puppy in the car. First time he's been out in the car, on a drive. He's like, I see this man on the street walking his dog. I've never seen this guy before. I've been here since 1999. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just stop the car, roll the window down. And I was like, do you happen to be the person that sells the beeswax over there? He's like, yes, ma'am. I mean, the honey. I'm sorry, the honey.
What are the odds?
He said, yes, ma'am. And he's looking at me real strange. I said, well, I'm looking for local beeswax. And he said, well, I got a little bit. And I said, well, I don't need a whole lot, And I said, I need it when I need it. And I don't want to pay the store prices for the quality crap that they're selling.
Right.
And he's like, well, I can sell you a pound for $10. And he's like, only got a few pounds.
Jeez, like half already, half the price.
That's all I need. So he gives me his phone number. And I told him, I said, well, I'll be contacting you and I'll get some from you. Well, called him a couple days later because I'd went in town, got some cash, and come back, called him on the way back. I was like, hey, just want to call and see if you was willing to sell me some beeswax. He said, well, I got 2 1-pound blocks. I said, I'll meet you at the gate. So,
there you go. Like, what are the odds of that?
Yeah, so it was
walking down the road.
Yeah, and he's like a quarter of a mile from my house, and I was like, oh, thank you, God. So now I've got like a local supplier for half the price that I was paying, and it's a better quality.
That is unbelievable.
So, I mean, the deception, because like I said, the deceptive part of it is I've been trying to contact this man for a couple of years. And I just see a stranger walking his dog on the road, and I'm like, that's probably not him. But you know what? Let me just stop and ask him.
How is that even like possible, right? You're probably sitting there like, no way. That's craziness.
It was crazy.
I mean, but it gets better. Like, that's not like the first time that's happened to you. It's like so many times.
Yeah. Well, and then the story about the plantain weed.
Yeah.
I've been looking for that plantain weed for about a year. Looking everywhere. I mean, I'm out foraging, trying to find it because I'd heard that it helps with wounds and lesions and stuff.
Right.
So I couldn't find it for nothing. Well, one of my friends does concrete work, and he's out doing concrete work in my neighborhood. He calls one day. He's like, you guys want some free dirt? I was like, yeah, just come over, dump it in the yard. And so he does. Well, the dirt's sitting there for a few days, and I'm going up and down the stairs, walking past this pile of dirt day after day after day. And all of a sudden I go one day and I went to go back up the stairs, and I look over there and I'm like, growing out of this pile of dirt that just got gifted to me was the plantain weed.
That is unbelievable. You need the dirt, and then there's the weed growing in it. And you need the wax, and there it is. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, talk about luck. Things. That's crazy.
And then the mullein.
That just blows my mind.
The mullein, it was like I was looking for that mullein for so long, and I took a road I never took before, and I'm driving along all by myself. I was like, well, what do you know? There it is.
Yep. Like again, what are the odds? But it still gets better. This is Candy's world that we're living in right now. That's not the end of it. She's got more in her pocket.
Oh my gosh. And then, I wear red, white, and blue every single day. I love my country. I just don't love what they're doing to it. Okay.
Yeah, so amen,
this is like my act of defiance by wearing red, white, and blue every day. So I went to a thrift store yesterday, and I was telling Lisa, I'm like, I'm walking around the store. I'm not finding anything. I never look at the shoes because I don't want to wear anybody else's shoes. I just don't. I just, with my feet problems and everything, I'm like, I don't even ever look at shoes. So I'm trying to head towards the craft section, walk past the shoe aisle, and I look over there. There's these awesome, awesome red, white, and blue patriotic shoes. I'm going to get them, and I'm going to show y'all. Anyway, I'm looking at them. I'm like, man, those look like size 8. I'm a size 6.5. There is no way. So I walked right past some shoes. And then I was like, no, this is too good to be true. At least I have to get them. You can't even see them in that picture.
Oh, hold on. I'm
But
not done
I'll
yet.
get them in a second. But
I'm going up.
anyway,
I'm moving down with them.
I backed up and I was like, you know what? Those shoes are too beautiful to not go and check. So I take them off the shelf and I look at the size and they're 6. I was like, nope.
Love it.
They're going to hurt my feet. I am not going to be able to wear them shoes. Look at them. They're brand new. Brand spanking new. And
I mean, you can't see them well, but those are so cute.
And I was like, 6? No way. But I was like, you know what? Put them back on the rack and almost walked away again. So this is the deception. We even deceive ourselves.
Right.
And it's like, no, you know what? I'm going to try these shoes on.
I
slipped my foot in there and felt like Cinderella, man. It was like,
that's exactly what it was. That's like Cinderella and her perfect fit. Aren't those cute as can be? They're so cute. I love it.
And then I looked at the price. I was like, $8? Brand
you
new?
can't beat it.
So I told Lisa, I was like a kid in this candy store. I'm holding up them shoes. I'm like, I got them. It's mine.
So happy for you.
And said a few profanity words. Hold on, I'm gonna get them.
Yeah, you gotta see them in real life. The picture I can't make big enough. They are darling, though. I mean, go Candy. That's all I can say. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Like, this woman has the best luck. Oh, here they are. Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
I mean, is that not patriotic? And like, hey, do you guys remember what you used to be? GOV? That is what they needed to see. That's so awesome. You have a whole matching outfit too, right?
Oh, I got all my clothes are red, white, and blue.
You talk. Those are so cute.
My earrings, my wallets, my purse, everything.
Oh, girl.
My hair braids.
That is so cute. I mean, that is just one of the many. Look at her shirt. I love it. I love that shirt. That's like one of the many great things. That's still not all. You were telling me more. I'm like, what the what? You still have more. This is like the good luck and fortune follows her.
Oh my gosh, what else? So, I can't even think.
Well,
I can't talk about road trip this weekend. I can't talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. Speaking of road trips, anyone want to go on a road trip? All of us together? We should go on a road trip.
Sprouts, here we go.
I mean, come on, there you go. I'm not even kidding right now. Anyone? We need to plan it for real. We need to, they say there's definitely strength in numbers, and there really is. And I'll be damned if they're going to keep us apart. Like, we need to all be together. We really do. I know that when Candy was here, I felt my very best. I mean, even before I came down with Morgellons, because I had good company. I had someone here that didn't judge me. She was wholesome. She was loving. She was kind. And she was still fun as crap and funny as hell. And she could cut up and roll with the best of them, and she could also, live with the rest of them. So, I mean, that's the great thing about, I think, those of us that have this. When you say, we were so humbled, and to be in each other's presence, to me, it's just a blessing, a blessing to be able to be around any of you or all of you. So
that leads me to something else, too. I thought that's, I told you about this. It's like, okay, first of all, we all have this condition. We have these nasty bloody lesions and rashes, and We feel so ugly, so isolated. We don't want to go anywhere. We don't want anybody to see us. So guess what? I made up my mind. I'm like, I'm not going to be like texting people or Facebook messaging. I'm going Facebook Live. I want to see your face. I don't care
There
what it
you
looks like.
go.
I don't care how bloody it is. I don't care what kind of crap you got going on. It's like we
Amen.
need to have that interaction with each other, even if we physically can't be together. At least by seeing each other's face, we don't feel so isolated.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. And I love
my
that. Thank you.
elderly friends, well, my elderly friends today, they wanted to know how to do the energy clearing protocol. They didn't understand it, and they're elderly and they're sick. They're both sick. And I was like, you know what? We're going to FaceTime. So their son tells them, oh, your phone don't have that capability to FaceTime. I was like, you know what? Let's just try it. And sure enough, we FaceTime today, and I showed them how to do the energy clearing. And we talked face to face for the first time ever. I've known these people for years.
That's a blessing. Wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah, we
then
forget how to be personal, I think, sometimes. That
yeah,
personal
and I
element.
FaceTime with Sheila today for the first time. So,
Yay.
yeah. So she's like, so why are you calling me? I was like, because Lisa said we need to connect. So here I am.
Dang straight. She's the best ever, too. You guys are both like so close alike. It's ridiculous. And you
Yeah.
both stand in your own truth, you know? I mean, I love how you guys are blatantly honest and you don't care if the world's watching. And I mean, I've always been that way as well. And I think that's why we click. But just sitting here watching others like you two, like so strong in your truth and so steadfast with it. I mean, it's just an honor to know you all, much less be around you. And so I wish Sheila was here. I told her that we were on and not seeing her, but she's been having a hard, rough go at it because this is hard. And, you
Yeah.
know, I think we all get attacked at different times. So that it seems so severe at sometimes. And I think she's maybe going through that too. And Lord knows I've been there so many times. But so any encouraging words and reaching out to her would be so, so wonderful because we need to love each other. When the world turns their backs on us, we have just each other. And we just need to remember that strong love that we have the ability to share. And it's a great feeling and doing the exact opposite of what the world's done to us. It really is. It's like you feel like you're in warrior mode. It's like I just was able to turn your hate into love in a New York second, and you're welcome. But I
Well,
love that for you guys.
and I'll tell you something else that happened to me the other night. There's this guy that posts on Facebook. I'm not going to say his name, but and this letter is not even in his name. Okay, so Z, I'm going to call him Z. So
Bruh.
this guy Z is posting out on Facebook about Morgellons. He did his YouTube video for the first time, went public. So I reached out to him. We became Facebook friends, and we started messaging back and forth a little bit. He's watched your YouTube videos a few times, and anyway, so he told me that his parents support him and that they know what he's going through and blah 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 blah. So anyway, I FaceTime with him for a few times, and it was like, really, he's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I was like, you know what? No, we need to see each other's faces. We need to know we
Yeah.
are not alone. So the other night, I get a message, right? And this lady messaged me on Facebook and she said, just want to let you know I'm Z's mom. She said, I cannot tell you how much respect he has for you. And I just wanted to tell you
Oh,
thank you for what you've done for him and supporting him and reaching out and just connecting with him. She's like, I really
that's
appreciate
awesome.
that. She said, I'd like to follow you. I said, party on.
Party on. Yeah, who was that? That was that Wayne's World. Party on. Oh, I love that.
Oh my
Doesn't that make it
God.
all worth just and knowing that, but like you can make someone's day, but then when you're feeling down, it can turn around and be given back to you also from someone else. And I mean, I know there was times I was just actually tons of them. I was just not a happy camper. And, you know, I people used to call me for the help, and I would suck it up and put on the big girl pants pulled all the way up, you know. But I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of times I was just dying inside myself. But I had you, you know, and I had, you know, Sharon, and I had Sheila. Well, Sheila is like amazing. You're amazing. Like you guys, like since then, because this is back when I had nobody. Everyone's telling me about, and then I totally get it. And I had to be strong for them, but you guys had my back when I was having my mom. I was like, okay, look, so this is what's happening. You guys would listen and you were patient, and I just love you guys and appreciate you more than words could ever say.
And look what happened last week, you know, when you were having your little meltdown, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. You've done too much good for others, you know. It's like, no. And Sheila was saying today, she was talking about the worst thing you can say to somebody when they're sick is tell them to put on their big girl panties. I was like, yeah, somebody says that to me, I'm like, that's my crown.
I literally, like, when I
wear that on my head.
Like, say that, I'm like, you have no idea what big girl panties really look like. Like, you have no idea what they look like, right? You have Morgellons, a regular person tells you, you're just like, girl, you could never walk in mine, or boy, you could never do it.
Yeah, my big girl panties, I just wear them on my head.
Holes in everywhere. So, yeah, like I said, pull up my boobies and whatever, ponytails on each side. That's right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we call this the Morgellons Deception because I know I lost a subscriber this week because of our last podcast you and I had that said Morgellons and the spiritual attacks or whatnot. Well, I received a message saying, I thought this was going to actually be about that. And then she all kept unsubscribing. And like I replied, I said, I'm sorry, you know, so you go. I honestly, did we forget to change the title, or maybe we just went off on a different subject because it happens? But is that really a reason to get your big girl panties in a ruffle and get upset and leave a channel just because the title didn't coincide? I mean, these are the things I'm talking about. Like, if people, like, our problems are big, they're huge, what we suffer and what we battle every day. But then we have to literally, like, those little bitty things, like the title of a podcast offended you because it didn't go away. Come on, people. You've got to be surely less shallow than that and know that there is depth in everything we do, even if it varies off of the track that our minds wanted it to be on. But we do have minds that most certainly, with brain fog and variation and apparently diarrhea mouth like me, where
Morgy mouth,
like where you talk over and you certainly don't mean to, but it's like all these offensive things that people are repulsed by. They call
it in the air.
Yeah, but I mean that we need to have more patience and understand that these are the little things. These are easily overcome, and if not, deal with that. But we got greater battles ahead, and all we got is each other. So we need each other. We don't need to be picking. We need each other. It's important. So with that said, I will kindly leave that to you now.
So you're going to have to, like, give me some triggers.
Okay, so what? Oh, I got one for you. No, I'm just kidding. I was about ready to tell you a bad joke my sister told me yesterday. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? And never mind. Because you can just go with your imagination there. Like, what?
Okay.
So, well, yeah. So the trigger word today is the wolf, the thing that you made.
Oh.
So for those that didn't hear the story, if you want to briefly describe it, because I would like people to, you know, hear about that. And
can you hold the picture up?
I am getting that picture up, and that's what I was thinking. Like, I'll put this picture up, and if you could read it.
Yeah, let me.
They'll probably be able to see it too. I'm not sure, but
let me go get my book, and I'll be right back.
What's that?
Sometimes I get the brain fog going on, and it gets confusing, so I need to read it.
Thank you, and that's exactly what happens. So, like the people that say get mad at my title. So I've got this part up, and you can just. She's gone. only talking to myself and you guys right now. It's cute. Just kidding. So I'm going to put this. She made a beautiful artistic display of her emotions and her love and her hurt and her pain, all wrapped up, all of her feelings wrapped into one, and she put it in art. She put it in a piece of art that will tug at one's heart, and itself screams and says it all, of all these emotions that were running through her head and her veins and the feelings. And literally you can feel the pain, but you can also see the tenderness and love that went into it. It's just amazing, but it's a beautiful piece of work, and you'll see here in a second. I'm going to put that up. And I mean, this woman, there's no end to her, and she's very talented. She writes beautiful poetry, and she has beautiful artistic ways of showing people her emotions and feelings, and probably a lot that everyone can relate to, you know, at some point or they're in their lives, and not all of their lives. So that's why Sheila reminds me so much of her, and vice versa. I mean, I'm willing to bet a lot of you went through a hard time, right? You hit rock bottom, and that's when you just knew that you didn't need the big stuff. All you needed was the little things, and the just sheer fact that you're here and you're here to make a difference. Well, here's Candy's difference. So, okay, Candy, I'm going to take myself down. I'm going to get this on here. Wow, that's weird. Something's knocking at my door that's not a human. Hopefully it's the cat. Hopefully it's the cat, because nothing would surprise. If like ET walked through that door right now, I'd be like, "Hey, want some coffee? Want some popcorn? Want to watch a movie? What are you doing?" Okay, let's see if I can get this up here. Looking like we can. All right.
Yeah, just to give them a little background, this poem was written when I was so angry inside. I just wanted to hurt people. And if you look at the photo there,
Let me put it up all the way.
pond, that's a stick and it's got deer moss on the top. You can't see the top, but it made like a tree. And that was where the pond is. It's like there was like an open hole there, and I filled it with Elmer's glue with blue paint to make a little pond. And then there's a plastic sheep over there to the left, covered in a soft wool. I hot glued it on there. And then over to the right is a wolf. He's plastic, and I hot glued the wool on him too, where it looks like an angry wolf that's inside a sheep's skin. And I even put like a little sheep's tail on the back of the wolf. So it's like the sheep is inside. He's trying to be gentle and kind, but then this wolf is like merging out of it. And then I mounted the poem to the top.
I don't know if that helped any. I was trying to show them your tree. I mean, just your artistic ability and the thought that went into like the whole of this, like the detail is just unreal.
Well, I need to resin this thing, so I just started doing resin crafts, and so I want to kind of soup it up a little bit where it's nicer and put the resin on there. But in the center there, I mounted the poem, but like I said, I need to like resin art this thing.
Yeah.
And behind the wolf is just a piece of tree bark I found in the woods, and I kind of like just painted it up a little bit. But the poem goes like this. And again, it's talking about the anger that we have inside of us, because I was so angry. I just wanted to hurt somebody. Yeah. But I'm not an angry person, so it wasn't part of who I was. So the poem reflects back to that. It's called The Wolf in Sheepskin. And as God's sheep, I graze ever so gently. I keep to myself and mind my own business ever so humbly. But under my soft wool another hides, for there's a black wolf that lurks deep inside. I pray silently under the shade trees. I watch the world as they constantly fight, argue, and disagree. At times I question, God, is this true? How can this be? I long to expose the angry wolf inside of me. I have no urge to eat the food. They need it anyway to fuel the rude. As for me, I'm not in the mood. My fleece I always give freely at the shearing, because I know inside another skin I'm wearing. As they line up for the house of slaughter, They drink greedily from the trough, all but one last drop of water. They have been so busy feeding their outer skin, they failed to nourish the wolf within. As for me, God, I choose to flee. And if one drop of water gives me not the energy, I will close my eyes so I will not see the final stand of the wolf that hides so deeply within me.
I love that so much. I mean, raw emotion put into art. You just can't you can't get any better than that. That is beautiful. And I think that you did amazing. I'm moved by it. And I mean, I guess I would like to encourage everybody to, and I'm willing to bet all of you have either poetry or stuff like that. I know Erica, my friend Erica, beautiful Erica Fox, she puts, her words into poetry, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you do that because that seems like a common denominator with all of us, or just an artistic ability. But Candy, like your measures of love and emotions with the artistic level, like it's all amazing and it's beautiful, and the emotion makes you, I mean, what you put into it, you feel that emotion, you feel it. It's just, I mean, it's insane. Like, it brings tears to my eyes, but then a smile to my face too, because the fact that you can take something like that you lived through, and put it into its own little entity just right here where you can put it away. It's no longer there. You put it out there and the world can see, feel and touch and hear all of it. And you don't know, you that's how you no longer allow it to harm you. You poured it out, you shared it with the world. And I guarantee you that helps so many because the stories you told, promise you, and I know for a fact there's a lot of us, a lot of people out there that go through certain circumstances. I myself never like you have, but I know there's people out here there that have, and what you share with them, I'm saying healing power through and through. I mean, healing power for real. I mean, look at this woman, guys. You've heard her stories. She has endured and literally triumphed so much. And she's here and she's talking about it. And by gosh, Facebook, by gosh, YouTube, and by gosh, Algo to the rhythm. You need to like be still for once and allow truth to be spoken, because it's not fair that you do that to people like her or my friends here or all of the ones that are suffering or myself. It is not fair. Truth should always be allowed to be heard. And shame on you for harboring it and hiding it, because Candy Nelson, best person I know, deserves to be heard. And when they bleeped your channel, like, they just lost. They lost because this is a real human individual with so much emotion and soul and love. And all you got is an algorithm. You're welcome. That's what you'll be buried with too, whoever they are, right? But I love that. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica, for saying that. She said, yes, you're priceless. Oh my God, thank you.
You are. You are. And Erica, she's, like I said, guys, Erica's got her words that I put to a video for her, and it's on my channel. I don't know how far down. It was, wow, the brain fog gets me every time, but the something garden in my garden. And I do this every time. I feel like I'm deja vuing every day. It's like, I've been here before.
Like, what was I thinking? What was I
Where
going
am
to say?
Wait, what am I doing again? Wait, is this a podcast? Holy crap. Guys, I'm on TV. I am on TV. Yeah, that happened. Happens a lot.
Well, I told you about the story with my grandfather and what happened that night. And I don't know if I'd ever told you this, but by that time I was like 15 years old, okay? My sister, like, after we were grown, probably in our mid-20s, maybe late 20s, she wound up going to jail for something, and I went down to jail to bail her out. And I went and took her for a drive. I took her to lunch, and we go out into the woods, and we just sit in my car. We were talking. Well, like I said, you're talking about into the 20s, or late 20s. She sat there and told me that day that I remembered the day because she's telling me about it, that she spent the night with my grandfather, and he basically sexually assaulted her. And I remembered that day because I was angry and I was mad because my parents took us for a visit to my grandfather's house, and he wanted her to spend the night and I wanted to spend the night. I had no idea what type of person he was then because I
Yeah,
was probably 5 or 6. She was about 7.
you did tell me about that. Oh my gosh.
Well, so I could not believe that here I am in my mid late 20s and I'm just now hearing about this, and my mother knew. My sister went home and told her right after it happened what my grandfather did to her. But yet she still continued to expose us to him. That's why I know for a fact in my heart that he was doing things to my mother, and she had been conditioned all those years. So it was like she was still living that generational curse.
But she didn't save her children from it.
Yeah.
My mom
And
went through the same thing. I can't
she must not
imagine.
have had the power. But, when my sister told me about that, here I was thinking about how angry I was because I
Hmm.
didn't get to spend the night with him.
And little did you know, right?
Yeah. And so, anyway, years later, it hurt me so bad. And being an empath, I was like, I don't know what I can do. I hurt for her because, she's like one of those people that, because she never confronted any of the people that hurt her that way, including my father, never admitted to them, even though she admitted to me that one time in her life about my grandfather. Um, I hurt so bad for her, and she has never been able to get any decent relationship in her life. Her everything has just been a
Yeah.
snowball of crap.
Self sabotage, right?
Well, I wrote a poem about that day for her, and I did an art piece. And the art piece that I did was I downloaded a closet door off the internet, and I took a picture frame and I took the door and put it on cardstock, and you could open this closet door, and then inside I mounted the poem, and I had a little iron-on patch. It was a Precious Moments angel,
Oh,
and I glued it in the bottom of that closet, and I glued feathers all around it, which I still have this art piece. So I don't give up these art pieces. Like I said, that one with the wolf, I got offered $3,000 for that, and I was like, no, you can't have
I can
this.
see why, because they
Yeah,
feel that raw emotion.
yeah, and so I'm like, no, it's not for sale, and I'm like, that's part of me, and so anyway, I wanted to read that one because when I read the poem,
Please do. And
then
by
you'll
the way,
understand.
welcome Brandon Holmes. Thank you for coming over to the channel. I was on the podcast the other night with Troubled Minds, and so thank you for coming over. And we got raw emotion over here some days, and some days we got just raw vegetables and just rawness.
Raw vegetables.
Just raw stuff, man. It's all raw up in here. So
So anyway, like I said, my sister, I call her Can't Get Right. It's from that movie Life with the two black guys that was like always in prison. They were in prison. Anyway, it was called, they had this guy in there that had like mental issues, and they called him Can't Get Right. So anyway, but the name of the poem is called Angels of Darkness. In dark closets where she would hide, a child of 7 often cried, curled up silently behind the clothes, scared and lonely, I suppose. Afraid the stranger she knew would hear her breathe, she smothered her face with her sleeve. As the doorknob turned and the light came in, the angels took another child to an unknown place she had never been. Out of the darkness and into the light, another little angel takes flight. She awoke not knowing what she had been through, only that she had wings with which she had flew. And every now and then, when she's not around, in and out of dark closets is where she'll be found. She'll be granting wings to children that don't have them yet, because the angels of darkness never leave the deep, dark closet.
Oh, gosh. Okay, just totally felt that, like goosebumps and chills and
Well, when she told me the
gosh.
story, she told me that when she spent the night with him, he started doing stuff to her, and she ran and hid in the closet. And she's 7 years old. So she's hiding in the bottom of the closet, and she said she put her hand over her mouth so he wouldn't hear her breathe.
Oh, mother trucker.
And she said the last thing she remembered was she could see the doorknob turn and the light come in. And she said she just passed out or something. She said when she woke up, he was climbing off of her.
Oh. And see, this is a reality that many, many live. And Candy, thank you for sharing truth, because so many people are harboring, and I don't care if it was this, something else, that there is something in us all, seemingly with Morgellons, something that has brought us to our knees, where we have no other choice, no other way to go other than up. So, whatever it may be, just like the poem or just like the wolf, it was like what she's read, what Erica writes, and it was the Garden of Toxic Flowers. I got that now. You guys, you understand, don't you, that those things have not broken you. They cannot break you. Candy talked about how she used to sit on a bus, a public bus of transportation, and just say these things out loud, and it helped her heal. It does. Speaking of these things, help us heal. What hurts us is when we keep them in. They're like deep, dark secrets, and not our fault. And even if something happened that was our fault, the thing is, you got to let it out. And vibrational frequencies are a real thing. When you're speaking something, it's a vibration that is seeping out of your body. You are letting the pain and the toxic blood seep out of your body. And Candy, like, you give courage. You give so much courage. And I want you guys to just know that you're wonderful, you're beautiful, and whatever's hurt you in life, whatever, whether you're ashamed of something or whether you went through something, it doesn't matter. That's in the past. Like, you deserve to talk about it if you want to, but you also deserve to let it go on all levels, because right here and right now, we have something pretty bad like going on. We, like what we could be considered the worst. But I've chosen to take it as a blessing. A blessing that, number one, I'm awake and I'm aware, even though I'm seeing things that I really don't necessarily want to see, scary things like monsters and demons and UFOs. And I didn't see Bigfoot yet, though. Maybe that's next. And Loch Ness, haven't seen that one. But I mean, all jokes aside, we are awake. We are experiencing some pretty wretched, horrible, scary things. But we've already seen the depths, I think, is what I'm getting at here. We've been to that pit of deception or dismay or whatever it is, and it's time to let it go. It's time to let that go and rise up.
I've come to a new term lately. I told you before, I always like look at it as like I died 1,000 deaths already. It's like, you're not taking one more life from me, because I gotta live. I'm now here lately, I'm looking at it, it's like, because I've come so far, and I'm like, I've released all that negative energy. I feel like I'm being rebirthed. I'm coming
That's what
into a
it
new
is.
life.
It is a
I'm
rebirth.
coming into a new life, and I'm happy. It's like,
Amen.
in spite of this bull crap, you see
it
the
is. It
scars all
sucks
over
so
me.
bad, but I look around at the dummies around me,
Yeah,
and I
look
know
at
it's
these.
not nice. But I look around, I'm like, I'd rather
Yeah,
be me with these lesions and this
look at the
secret
scars.
knowledge than that
Look at the
oblivious thing
scars.
over there that's got perfect skin or
Yeah,
whatever
see
it
the
may be. I
scars?
choose this then.
Yeah, look at the scars I got all over my
You look
legs.
so good, though. You look
They
so
are
good.
nothing. They are
And
nothing.
I
Oh, I got a
swear
new
the peace
lesion.
I think
I
that you
told y'all my
found.
lesions were healed. Look at this. I got a new one. Can you see it right there, the little one?
I do barely. Like compared to what you were, my dear.
Exactly. You know,
I mean, like,
that's
wow.
peanuts. That's a peanut gallery.
There's a peanut gallery right there. She said that out loud. I love it.
I gotcha. I know how to help.
This poor woman was like, and I don't say poor woman because you're not a poor woman. Like you are a warrior, but I'm gonna say it in the common sense that we're just talking to each other right here. This poor woman was covered, and I've been covered in lesions, like my whole body, but I can't even begin to fathom or top what this lady right here, this warrior here, has been through. And I mean, yeah, we got a really crappy deal. We did. But is it? I mean, at the end of the, is it really? I mean, is it so crappy that we got this into the stick? Because I mean, I'm looking around me. I'm looking around my family. I'm looking around at people I love or people I don't know. And I'm looking at them in disbelief, like, you guys are trying to figure out what brand to buy. You guys are trying to figure out which house to buy. You guys wonder if you should get a third or fourth. And you guys over there, you just don't give a crap as long as you get the next best thing, whether it be a drug or a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And we're just sitting here, we're just looking around and we're aiming to survive. We're aiming to love. And we're aiming now because we know that this is not the end. This earthly realm, this physical body of ours, we've seen so much that we are rest assured that this life here on earth, this isn't it. This isn't it. It's not all of it, and it's just a small little tiny portion of it. And I'd rather be us than them any day of the week.
You just reminded me about the time I told you about when I was in the grocery store and the lady was looking at the Cheerios, trying to figure out which Cheerios she was going to buy.
It's like, geez, let me refresh your memory or let me educate you. That's what Candy did. What you did.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. So this lady's just sitting there scratching her head because there's like 30 different brands of Cheerios. And she's like, there's so many, I just can't figure out which ones to buy. And I was like, well, you know, those things are genetically modified, don't you?
It says GMO right on the box.
And she's like, what is that? And I was like, okay, look up underneath the nutritional facts in the fine print. So she grabs the box and she's looking, she's reading it. She's like, and it says something, it doesn't say genetically modified, it says genetically engineered materials is what it says.
Yeah, they gotta change it up a little.
Yeah, to make it sound more
big words. Yeah, you guys are using big words now. Look at you go.
And it says, but it doesn't contain it, but however, may be contained in the manufacturing and shipping process. And I was like, okay, first of all, it comes in a sealed bag. Okay. And then that sealed bag is in a box. So it don't have anything to do with the shipping process. It's in there before. They're lying to you. It's a half
geniuses. All the lights in the house are off, apparently.
It's deceptive. And I said, so, you know, if it's, I said,
I'm dying.
You know, so I'm sitting there and I was like, okay, what's genetics? DNA. What's modifying, changing? What's organism or material? Can be any living thing. And I go through the whole thing. Fungus, mold, plants, animals, fetuses, whatever. And she's just like, her eyes are big as saucers. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, I can't believe this. I was like, well, you can go pick up some oranges over in the produce section. And it'll tell you right on the package. That's not
I mean, they put it blatantly in front of our faces. As truth is there. Yeah, actually, and it's so blatant.
It says it's non-GMO, but technically, there's no laws in place saying that they have to be truthful with that label. So therefore, you're paying twice as much for the same stuff that you're getting anyway.
Yeah, and you're welcome again. Congratulations, you just got totally taken.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, they can say it's organic. They can say it's non-GMO because there's no laws in place for any ramifications if they label it any way they so choose to. And you just pay 4 times as much.
Their own laws and rules and lies that's been happening.
So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to this woman. Next thing you know, I turn around and walk away. And I look around me and there's like 20, 30 people in a group. And I was like, oh.
You got that. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're so good at. You can
Oh my gosh.
captivate an audience, and I could have used you at scratch the other day. Saying.
I had no idea those people were gathered around until I went to walk away. So
They got schooled that day, didn't they?
well, I start walking, right? I get like 2 aisles over,
Jack.
and next thing you know, I hear somebody say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. She's like, is your name Candy Nelson? And I was like, yes. She said, oh, she's like, you live in my neighborhood. You've been posting that stuff on the community group. I was like, yeah, I did. I was like, till everybody came out and attacked me. And
Guilty.
I was like,
yeah,
that was me.
Anyway,
You know, the
like, attacks.
Oh my God.
It seems like we can overcome that, right? You've done it every time.
Yeah.
So like Erica said, full armor, guys. We got our full armor on. We are full armor in the house, okay? So we can do anything and everything through Christ our Lord that strengthens us. I mean, I'm just going to say Philippians 3:13. I mean, there you go. It's kind of there written. Like, you guys are warriors and you didn't even know it.
Well, even like, when I first started coming out, speaking out about it, right, I'd be talking to somebody about it, and we'd be like, they'd be talking back to me. We're communicating together, and I'm smiling. We're talking. My husband walks up. Well, when he listens and understands what I'm doing, okay, I'm schooling somebody, he would turn around and walk away.
Ooh, we gotta get out.
Conversation, So he did that for years. So one day he went for his job, and he went to go do a job, and this lady was there, and she's like, well, I'm reclusive. She's like, I don't go anywhere. And, I've got all these skin stuff going on, and I've got all these problems. And, so I really need my to be able to watch my movies and, for my own sanity. And he says, have you ever heard of Morgellons? She's like, no. So he's telling her about, he said, my wife has it.
George?
Yeah.
George.
And I was like,
no,
oh, really? You did that? He's like, yeah. And he said, so I was telling her about it. And she said that she doesn't go on the internet much or anything. He's like, but, I did tell her that you had it, and, gave her the phone number in case she wanted to call her.
George, I'm so proud of him.
No, I was blown away. I almost cried.
You got through to not just the public, but
many years though for him to even say the word
That's
Morgellons.
Amazing. That my heart beams right now for someone that doesn't show, what we do as far as having it. To fight you tooth and nail at the beginning, or just like, I don't want to hear. And then all of a sudden, have you ever heard of this?
Right.
I mean, look at the leeway. You paved a road.
He went to the doctor one day, right? And he's at the doctor's office. The doctor's checking his heart, doing his routine thing. So he asked his own personal doctor, you ever heard of Morgellons? He's like, no. And so he comes home, and he's like, oh, well, I was just wondering if you'd ever heard of it. And so he comes home, and he tells me, I said, first of all, obviously he did know something, because he would have said, no, what is that? He did not. He just said no, he hadn't heard of it.
There you go. There you go. And George, you are definitely king of your jungle. I'm going to tell you right there. That is just like right there. I mean, every day, guys, you're making leeway.
I was so proud of him. And it took him, like I said, for the longest time, he would even tell our kids, that stuff your mom's got. And I'm like, just say it. It's Morgellons, damn it. Just say it.
The M word. The M word, like the M word's worse than the F word. Like, starts with an M, ends with an S. Never heard of it?
Mom's got.
Yeah, still though, the leeway and the progress you've made is remarkable. Remarkable. I want to say hi to not Chloe. Don't ever click on Chloe Phelps. That is, you're gonna see some porn. I mean, I guess if you want it, but don't click on that, because that's, you can tell by the underscore part there, the comment. It's gonna be pornography. Trust me, I made the mistake, and I can't unsee what I saw, guys. So I want to say hi to Kat. I am Gypsy Goddess and Spiritual. I can't remember the rest, Kat. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, not Spiritual, Spellbreaker. Erica Fox, thank you for being here. Brandon Holmes, new. Love you, love you, love you. Glad to have you. And stand strong, stand tall, stand in your own truth, as Candy says. I'd say love them anywhere. I usually say that, but I mean, sometimes I just want to, like, it's not like kick them in the buttock. You guys, we have each other. We have each other. And I know I'm leaving many out because we had earlier, we had hot, retarded chick.
I love that name. I think it's so cool.
I can't scroll down, but I mean, I said your name earlier, so okay. I don't remember. I don't. I have brain farts every day. I've been blessed with brain farts, guys. It is part of the MD community, I guess, right? So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I live with brain. I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being understanding and loving. And don't forget, we're rooting for you. And don't forget, be a warrior like us, Candy, I should say. Be a warrior like we're all warriors. Be a warrior like Candy. If you got to talk about it, talk about it. I encourage you to, because it's okay. It's okay. This little worldly realm here, we got some crappy things that has happened to us, a lot of us. I mean, and there was no promise that life was going to be fair. And I think I kind of get that now. I think we're getting that now, right? But you notice the humbleness in the community of ours, that you know, of our own. They're humble. They're kind. They see things differently. They see things in a new light. And I adore you guys for that. And don't ever forget how strong you are and how loved you are, even when the outside world is making you feel unloved. You are so worthy, so worthy. You are so loved, so deserving, and I wish you all the very best. And I don't know, if someone wants to mess with you, tell them to come see me. I'll be like, pack a lunch, big truck, because it's going to be a long-ass haul, okay? So, I mean, I'm not really...
Yeah, like I said, we wear our big girl panties as crowns, okay?
My booties, yeah. So, anything else, my dear? My warrior friend?
Brandon says, do you plan your live streams or are they random?
That's totally
we just wing it. We just wing it.
Some of them are planned. When Candy and I get together, it's a little bit of both. If you want to come on the show, though, Brandon, you got some stuff to say, call me. 832-520-3535. I'll put that out there. If you guys want to be on the podcast and I get accused of talking over, and I'm sorry. I apologize ahead. I don't mean to. I'm just excited. I'm so excited. Morgie Mouth. I'm just so excited that there's others. There's so many like me, like you, and like everyone, and happy to be here. And I always mean well. So Brandon, call me. All right, guys, love you. Oh, there we got a Terry 4988. She's, I believe, or sure, could be he, she. I'm not sure. I believe many diseases are hidden and they're 100%. We think fibromyalgia. First part of that word is fiber. Cystic fibrosis. What was the middle? Oh yeah, fibrosis.
Amino method asphonic acid.
Amino method asshole. We can go on with the real word, but we like a little meaning.
That is a hidden ingredient in glyphosate, which is in our food supply. Thank you. You're welcome.
And she's not lying. It's there. And wait, what do those cows get sick with again? Sometimes in their hooves, you know that. What is that called?
Digital bovine dermatitis.
Huh? You ever heard of that, guys? Anyone ringing the bell?
Or COVID toes?
COVID. You're welcome. We just set that up right there on Silver Platter. And you're welcome again. Be here all night for your entertainment pleasure. So, yeah, algorithm. You just heard something that was actually already there and you were told the truth. And so please be kind to the truthers and get rid of the other ones, the other channels that aren't telling the truth. I mean, come on. You might be AI, but I know you're a smart AI. So do something right. Do something right. They trained you wrong. They're lying to you. So I'm going to retrain the algorithm. I'm doing it. You guys need to do it too. So with that said, many, many blessings and much love wished upon all of you. And Candy, you too, especially. You have brought joy to so many. And despite the horrid thunderstorms and and weather that you had to go through, you have come out like a rainbow. Like you are a shining star. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for, gosh, having your full armor on and you're ready for battle every day, but still having that love in you and the tenderness that everyone needs. So thank
Well,
you.
and again, too, like I said, if any of you ever get the opportunity to meet another Morgellons patient face to face and hug them, it is the greatest
Feel
thing
it.
you can do for yourself.
We were in the middle of rain, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's right."
Yeah, and if you can't do that, do the FaceTime, connect with them, see their faces,
Really.
no matter what they look like. Like one of my friends is like, she's like, I can't FaceTime with you. She's like, I got lesions all over my face. I was like, you know what? I drove to your
Hello,
house
preaching my
and
choir.
I dug them out of your head for you, okay? I don't give a damn what your face looks like. Show me your face. I want to see your face.
Lesions, smesions. That's just a small little obstacle. It's not a big deal, really. We got this. You're right, Candy. I want to see faces, guys. Because the soul doesn't have a face. The soul is everything that you are. Your light, your spirit, your soul. Like you're irreplaceable and you're perfect just as you are. This outside vehicle. So what? I had a few wrecks in it, I guess. I mean, doesn't make the freaking classic model that I am on the inside. So
Well,
made
and
by
I
God.
would, I would like to share a quote I came up with years ago. I coined this. Your body is just a temporary vessel in which to store a soul. A body is only temporary. A soul lasts forever.
Amen.
You're welcome.
Biblical truth right there. And I mean, it's not even. I think I'm well past the biblical aspect because that is a thing you can feel and touch and see. The living word is right here, which is part of the soul that lives within us. So listen
Yeah,
to
so
your heart.
no matter what you look like on the outside, okay,
That's nothing.
it doesn't touch what's inside of you. And I mean, believe me, I'm telling you, I'm speaking with all my heart. Oh my God, Lisa
Yeah.
knows. I had lesions as big as tennis ball on my arm. They
Oh
were all
man.
the
Yeah.
way down to my bone on my
There
legs. I
was
thought,
nothing left on her body that wasn't touched. She's just a walking
exactly.
miracle.
And so
She
I kept,
radiates beauty though, and even then she radiated beauty. So
and I had so many people tell me, even when you smiled, I could see your pain in your face. I'm like, because you know what? I ain't giving you my
doesn't
soul.
deserve it.
You can have my body. And that's like, I love that point about another second opinion, where it's like, oh, you can do this to me, you can do that, you can take this, you can take that. But please leave for God, my precious little soul. And that
Amen.
was when I was talking about the surgeons and all the doctors taking everything. They want to rip you. It's called another second opinion. I know I read it on your channel. And the
Yeah,
last verse was, just please leave for God, my precious little soul. You can't have that.
that's
You can take my
exactly
body
right.
parts. You can't
That's
have my soul.
exactly right. The greatest of these is like actually to end that for real though, the the whole solution to the entire world, the beginning, the end, the answers, the questions, it's love. It is love, guys. Love is the absolute cure all. It's the one that'll win the battles every time. It's the one that will be beside you and beside others every time, even when you feel alone. If you have love within you and you radiate it out towards others, it comes back to you in one way or another. And even if it's not in this earthly, worldly realm, because remember, everything's a frequency, dimension. I mean, we just happen to be in, well, some of us are in tune with too many dimensions that we kind of wonder if we're here or there. But what I'm getting at is everything is a frequency and love is its own. And that is the cure all for everything. I know you got something. Let's hear it.
Yeah, the another second opinion. I mean, I've read this one before, but it's so powerful, and it just screams like I just have to read it again. We're talking
Please
about
do.
Morgellons Deception. But it's called Another Second Opinion because I'd seen so many doctors and had so many diagnoses, and all the medications was making me worse. I was so sick and just nobody was listening. So here we go. Another second opinion. You say if you remove my gallbladder, I should not be concerned. For you, it's just another routine matter. You want me to take a pill that will eventually rebuild my bones, and tell me not to worry. You will be happy to remove my kidneys when they develop stones. Let me get this straight. You don't know what the problem is or exactly what I have, but take this medicine anyway and try not to be so mad. I try to be pleasant because I have no choice. You don't seem to listen to the concerns that are coming from my voice. Your eyes only see, but your ears cannot hear. So take another prescription. I don't know why you cry. You should have no fear. Over the years, it has developed into the great thick smog, and again, I'll add another prescription and another physician to my master log. God forbid if I refuse to take your medication. You ask angrily as you misjudge me. What else will I do to gain ultimate relaxation? You seem so free to give what my body does not need, and if I follow your instructions carefully, my internal organs will eventually bleed. Some of my favorite quotes include, "The benefits outweigh the risk, and I regret to inform you, but your insurance will not cover this particular type of test. If you would just stop worrying about the symptoms you had yesterday and try to clear your head, they will eventually go away. It makes me feel like it's me that you want to go away, but by now you should know me because I'm here almost every day. The symptoms that keep reoccurring, you say I can treat at home and pay little attention to my tears and my groans. You continually remind me about my quality of life, yet my friends have all left me, my children do not know me, and my husband has no wife. So I'll keep taking all these pills, and to the best of my ability, I will continue to pay all these doctor bills. And when my last organ has taken its final toll, you can have it too, and hopefully it will help you determine exactly what is your medical role. Once it is over, you should feel intellectually and medically whole. But please leave for God, my precious little soul."
I love that. So
Amen.
sweet. That is just perfect and gorgeous. I'm telling you guys, I mean, you have so much courage and so much strength in you. You do. And I just want to remind you every day when you wake up mornings and you're feeling like really crappy, you're feeling like you can't go on or you just can't take anymore. And I've got a lot of friends feeling that way, and I've been there. And just remember, you you can do all things through Christ the Lord that strengthens you. But with that said, just remember, and I got it here, and I love this. It's 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind." So when the world makes you feel like you're crazy, just remember you have power, number one, and your mind is sound. And the things that you are experiencing and the things that are happening to you, they're very real. And if you look around you, you're going to see a lot of empty shells and broken spirits that are lost. For the most part, I see literally like puppets just walking along and talking, and they're not grasping the big picture. And the big picture isn't all the crazy things we're seeing or the really sci-fi things that are happening to our body. The biggest picture is, but come to find out, those realms, the demonic realm and the heavenly, they're very real. They're very real. They're here. And some of us are very capable of seeing that. And they say as above, so below. There's a reflection in everything you do. Just remember, in all things that you do, reflect good, do good, show good. And we're not perfect because, shoot, I screw up like pretty much every 10 minutes. and I'm not happy about that. I'm like, sorry, God. I say that a lot. Sorry, God. Didn't mean to. Sorry, God. But I mean, just remember that what you reflect out into the world is what you will get back. Doesn't have to be here. But I mean, if you see that you can bring a genuine smile to a face, like, and Candy smiles every day, which just makes you want to smile. And I mean, if somebody's calling you a bad word, just go, just smile at them, because even if they don't smile back, you just gave them, well, a shitty grin and some love at the same time. And even if you didn't mean it, doesn't matter. They can't help but think about that shitty grin all day long. So, true story. Truth, people, truth.
Yes,
So,
yes,
I'm
Kat.
saying it. We're in the fight. We're in the fight.
Yes, Kat, I did write that poem.
And she's so good. Like, it's just beautiful. Like, you feel the raw emotion. She definitely, she's got a talent. You should write, and I've said this many times, you need to write a book of poetry, because there's so many people that relate to it, on top of the fact that when you just read it there in the
This is my redneck book. It's called a binder.
Redneck book. So are you sure it's not like a red bound book?
Redneck
I was
book.
redneck last time I checked. All right, dear. Anything else you'd like to add? Because my daughter and her 2 friends are going to be back here soon, bombarding me. My first night back in where my hometown is, after a week and 3 days. So I want to go.
I know how hard it is, but again, I say nobody else's truth matters except for your own. Stand in your own truth, own it,
Yeah.
and be prepared to fight for it, because you'll be fighting to the death.
Amen. That, it's true. And you're going to have people that don't agree or don't understand or don't like or don't care.
And it's not
you care.
For the ones that do. It's for the ones that do. It's not for the ones that don't.
There you go. Your heart knows. The ones that care know. And you can't please them all. And honestly, they're still going to remember you either way, because there's something about you that's unforgettable. So shine your light, guys. Shine your light. Be the light that shines. Don't be the darkness that leads people astray. I mean,
wear your panty crown. Wear your panty crown.
Wear your panties upside down on your head. Put your pigtails through and say, I'll flip my hair back and forth. I don't care what you got to do, but just smile. Just smile at people. Like, you got a little secret. Don't remember, you got this little secret inside of you that nobody else knows. You want to share it so bad, it just makes you smile at them. Trust me, they'll eventually ask that, or they're going to think you got a fart or something. I'm not sure. So, Kat says I did a live stream on her channel tonight. You guys check Kat's channel out. There's another Morgellons individual, a wonderful lady, has great live streams and a good channel, as well as Erica, as well as Mr. Mission Control, as well as I could just go on and on and on. There's a lot, and I'm going to feel bad because I'm going to forget. We're
like Horton here. We're like Horton here's a who.
Horton heard a what? Is me. Horton heard what? So yeah.
Anyway. We're here.
I love it. That was kind of cute. Okay. So you guys just when we're done here, just go smile. Just walk in the next room. And if you don't live with someone, go walk outside. Go smile. Get right in their face and go, just smile as big as you can. Just to say you did it. Just smile and be like, don't say a word though. Just be like, I got a secret. See what happens. It's kind of funny, actually. I do it all the time, but I got a whole video thing of that. I actually do a lot of things on video like that. That's probably not pretty funny to some, but it's funny to me. So just smile though. Smile and laugh and
one more thing too. We were talking about Morgellons Deception, right? Oh my gosh. I got in Facebook jail a few days ago. And just came out of Facebook jail this morning.
Naughty.
Posted like 3 things on Facebook, and I'm right back in there another 3 days again. Y'all got it.
You know what though? It's okay, because these social media channels we're utilizing to work in our favor. But if they're reading on, I'll post what I need to post. I don't even like to look at the comments, because comments hurt. They do. Like, sometimes I don't even go through my YouTube comments, because people say some things that really hurt. especially when you know you're not meaning to do anything wrong. It hurts, guys. It hurts. We are feeling pain already. Stop hurting us. But Candy, you are not missing out if you're in Facebook jail. In fact, I'm going to go with you next time. Maybe we could just be jailmates. Because
Well, you know what I said? Well, you know what I said when I went to Facebook jail the first time, after all the years of posting publicly about Morgellons and everything, first time I ever been in Facebook jail, right? First time after years of doing this.
Like, why now?
Like, well, you know what? That happened for a reason. Because bike week's coming, I'm behind in all my stuff. So I took those days to like make stuff and do stuff. And then when it happened again today, I was like, yep, back to work.
See, she found her blessings in the storm, guys. There are blessings in the storm.
I was like, good, shut me out, because guess what? I got soap to make, I got salves to make, and I got sewing to do. So
yeah, she had time for that nonsense anyway on social media. Okay, so take that, Facebook. What you gonna say now? You're gonna probably kick me off. But this is for entertainment purposes only. We're glad you're here, which is just a simple discussion. We're discussing non-toxic things that are not on a truthful level. And did I just save my ass or not?
And no, I got awesome shoes yesterday, so hey.
Hey now. All right, guys, get your grins on. Double dog dare you. Go out, just go walk up to someone, just smile as big as you can. Just do it. I mean, if anything, it's funny as shit. So.
Then when they ask you what you're smiling about, say, let me tell you what I survived.
Guess what I got in my pocket? Pocket 1, pocket 2. You don't even have to say a word, though, because they're going to wonder, why is she smiling? Why is he smiling? What?
Yeah, and I have so many people ask me, like, why are you always smiling? I was like, because I already died 1,000 times.
Look at this one. I thought you farted earlier, and it was funny. It sounded like... I'm not kidding. I always get the stupidest things in my head. I mean, I pretty much laugh because I'm always thinking of stuff like that. There's something about fart sounds, too. It's pretty funny. So when my daughter walks by, she rip one. I'm like, that's funny. It's funny. Sorry. So.
I saw this YouTube video the other day on Facebook. Even though I can't post or anything, I can go out there and look.
You can use my
this younger guy, right? He downloaded this app on his old father's cell phone. His father's like elderly. So when the father turned the blinker on, it made like fart sounds.
I can hear it now. I'm not going to lie. I'm the girl that...
Every time the father turned his blinker on, he's like, you got to get this off of here. And his son's sitting over in the passenger seat cracking up laughing, you know?
I love it. I mean, I put it in my purse and like, I'll just let it rip. I'll be walking by people in the mall. Like right when you go by, like the fart machine will go off. My daughter has the remote. This is the old school one, guys. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I have this one elderly gentleman look at me like, never. And I'm like, oops, excuse me, did I do that? And just kept walking. I built like a 12-year-old boy, so it looks really ridiculous when that happens. But I mean, it's funny, guys. You need to laugh. You need to smile. Yep, we got some lesions on. We do. We have lesions. Oh, what are you gonna do? We're polka dotted. We're not striped like the rest of the world. Actually, that's just white wool. All sheep, white wool, and you guys got polka dots. Love it because you're not wearing what they're wearing. Truest story ever told. And Sharon Johnson, I love her. She's here. She says hello, you guys. So, wow.
Yeah, we're about white for the night. She's just getting on and we're white.
I know, right at the Sharon, we love you because that's an E for effort right there because she's a working woman too. She's like, I sold real estate for years and that's what we had in common. She sells real estate and she is really good. So if y'all are looking for a phenomenon real estate agent in Michigan, I believe it is. Sharon's your woman right there. She is your woman. She sold a really, really famous woman's place, and Sharon will leave that up to you to tell everyone. But she did. She's that good. So, I'm not trying to promote. I'm trying to save us. You know, we need to support each other and stick together because the kids are here. I gotta run. I gotta hide under the table. There they are. I gotta go.
Love you.
Hi, guys.
Good night. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all for coming.
For coming, so thank y'all for going. That's what I say. Hi, guys. Thank you and much love to you. Blessings. Keep your spirits up and keep your grins on and go make somebody wonder what you're up to. No, you suck. So, all right. Love you, Candy.
Love you too. We'll see you.